So, for goodness sake, right now, nobody knows what's happening with Edge unless you're Edge. If you are Edge, hello, welcome to the show. It's very nice to have you here. But recently, he had a maybe, not maybe, WWE retirement on SmackDown. And not only was that match with Sheamus awesome, but as Edge himself said, look, I'm almost 50 and it's getting pretty hard to do this stuff. Once again, given his age, all of us should be going, how the flub does he keep doing this? But it kind of all ties in. He knows that the end is closer than the beginning, so he could potentially want to go to AEW, meet back up with his best friend, reform one of the best tag teams ever, before turning the internet into a pile of mush. So look, I get this is pie in the sky stuff, but I like pie in the sky stuff. This is how Edge should debut in AEW. And the most important part of all of this is we have to call him Sharpened Side. That's right, WWE owns Edge, so we can't do that. And if Sharpened Side isn't going to work, then we have to go with Corner. And if we don't do this, I am going to cry. And by the time you see this video, All In may have just gone past. Now look, that's going down in Wembley Stadium. There is going to be 80,000 people there, and Christian Cage of all people was just added to that card. But according to Adam Copeland, his WWE contract doesn't end until September, so there's no way that he's going to be on this thing. But Edge also once told us, I'm never returning at the Royal Rumble, so I'd take it all with a pinch of salt. I mean, it would likely surpass any kind of pop the Rated R superstar had ever got in his career, which is saying something. And straight away, you'll now be going, wait a minute, Simon, I want to see the Edge and Christian tag team together again. And look, I totally understand that, but they probably want to have one more match where they do face each other. But if you do want to end on the warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum bit, then you can go to the tag team. So what we're doing here is we're ticking all the boxes, especially because, do you remember Edge versus Christian in WWE? They never pulled the trigger properly because for some reason, Vince McMahon didn't get how good Christian was. I mean, why do you think he jumped over to TNA for a bit? I mean, that is just baffling, even today in 2023. But if we do catch up with the latest rumors, and again, I want to underline that word rumor, everybody is saying that somehow Edge found out what AEW would offer him, so he went to WWE and said, look, this is the kind of shenanigans I need to stay, and WWE said no. Now, I find this a little bit hard to believe, because again, he's a Hall of Famer, he's a super duper mega star. Why the flub would you be happy for him to go elsewhere? And I get he's getting to the twilight of his life, but that doesn't make any difference to me. If Edge is on my screen, I want to tune in, especially because there's so many guys he hasn't even fought yet. There's definitely some fire to all of this though, because it's actually how Adam Copeland came back to the business to begin with. Because he was talking to AEW. AEW had reached out and they were like, oh, hi, we hear you may be able to go again. Here's a bunch of cash. And that time, WWE did freak out. They were like, no, you must come back here. And they drove the money truck up to his house, and the rest we know. I love all of this, though, because if anybody does deserve it, it is Adam Copeland, who had to retire once because he gave so much to professional wrestling. And the reason I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon is because he probably needs time to process all of this. I mean, after that SmackDown, I bet he was right emotional. So you have to search your feelings and realize what you want in life. That takes time. If we do throw all of that out the window though, and we take as read that maybe his contract doesn't end until September, let's just jump 1 week after All In, when we have the All Out show. That's right. Oh, hello, time from the future just popping up here, because as always, YouTube has gone YouTube and wrestling has gone wrestling, and we are past All Out now. But do not forget, the situation basically remains the same. Luchasaurus the Dinosaur could still turn on Christian and take the TNT title back for real, where he gets saved by Edge. I don't know, once again, as we said throughout this video, it's fantasy booking, but I am a massive nerd. I really do want to keep the Dinosaur as a bad guy though, because I still think he has so much damn potential. So if Christian does accidentally cost him his championship, he should then go, well, now I'm going to blame you for all my brethren being killed by an asteroid, and he should start to beat the crap out of Christian Cage. That would probably turn him face for a little bit, because as we know, Cage likes to walk out here and go after people whose dads have died, which is the most heel thing I've ever said in my life. But do you know how you turn that on a dime? All of a sudden you get, because they would be able to get Alter Bridge, because again, that's nothing to do with WWE. Here does come the Corner, and he saves his best friend. I mean, I would lose it. Of course, this means we have gone the other way, and we will do the tag team first, but I ain't gonna get mad at that. And you may now be going, well, who the hell would Luchasaurus team with to take on these two? Well, I'll tell you who it would be. You have to pull some strings and come up with some story ideas. But Jungle Boy is an absolute asshole now. Why can't he come back to his dino friend? I mean, there's such a wild twist, because never in my wildest dreams did I think those two would be the heels. but that just works all round. Edge and Christian can obviously beat them in some sort of a feud, and do you know how much Jungly Jim and Luchasaurus would benefit from working with Edge and Christian? Well, I'll give you the answer. A lot. You've also then opened up the door to do the likes of Edge and Christian versus the Young Bucks, versus the Lucha Brothers, versus Bullet Club Gold, versus the Best Friends, and even versus Sting and Darby Allin. And that's when I get really excited. Go through every single legend that Tony Khan has ever brought into AEW. He treats them with so much damn respect. Like he was saying the other day that he thinks the Stinger right now is having the best run of his career. Now, obviously you can argue that against everything he does in WCW, but when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? It's pretty damn close. And if you do still want to do that singles program, I guess that's another story that would be amazing when Christian turns on Edge and we'd be like, oh my gosh, we should have seen it coming. And once we are through that window, do you know what will be in the table probably in 2024? Kenny Omega versus Edge. We talked about this the other day. I've got my Wrestling Dream Filer facts out. It's right there on page 9. I really do think that would be something special and could even be Match of the Year category, because as we know, AEW gives a lot more freedom when it gets to the grappling, but also you can go down the chain in terms of experience, and all of a sudden Edge could be working with a Darby Allin one-on-one, or somebody like Ricky Starks, who has recently turned heel. And he is going to benefit so much, given that he's just done the same thing with Punk. I mean, this is going to help the wrestling business no end. And everybody always says that Adam Copeland is some kind of wrestling genius, which is the same for Christian, and he's been helping out backstage. So imagine we have another one. Going back to the tag team idea though, it does tie into this whole Edge being like, man, it's getting so hard to do singles matches. So that would take the pressure off a little bit and we could just start throwing random bodies back together again. We know Eddie Kingston and John Moxley have a relationship, so once again, do I want to see them against Team E and C? Of course I do. I want all of this. I honestly think this would get such buzz because Edge, don't forget, debuted in the WWE or the WWF in 1998. So many people can't believe this could be a real thing because they assume that he's a lifer. And look, there's every chance that he is. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Not like he's gonna burn a bridge. Given that I've totally convinced myself as well that Adam Cole is about to go bad guy and become the world champion and align himself with Roderick Strong and the Kingdom, all of a sudden, it opens that door as well. I mean, somebody's gonna have to go up against these fools, and you know who I'm thinking of. And as we are speaking about Adam Cole, obviously MJF is right there as well. He is on the precipice of becoming a super duper star at the highest level. And maybe it's the rated R superstar that gets him over the line. His multiple-time WWE champion also knows how to go inside baseball, which is Maxwell's favorite thing in the world too. This is when people go, oh, but the casual fans won't get it. Why do I have to worry about the casual fans? What have they got to do with me? I want to watch fun, entertaining things on my TV. That's as far as it goes. Now, if you did barge in here now and put a gun to my head, I still kind of think we'll get to WrestleMania 40 and Edge may retire there, just because it does have the big 4-0 on it. If you were a wrestler that's been going 30 years, maybe you'd be like, makes sense. And do not forget that Vince McMahon always pushed Edge like crazy, so he may feel a sense of loyalty to the guy. But on the flip side to that, if you just ask for some money, knowing that somebody else will pay it, and these guys went, yeah, we don't agree, well, of course that's going to hurt you. As I've already told you, he has given so much. So now you know what you've got to do. There's a comment section down there, and 1, you've got to tell me how crazy my ideas are. I already know, I'm well aware of this. But 2, you have to give me your predictions. And don't go, I don't think Edge is ever going to go to AEW. Well, you can say that, but also, let's be creative and let's have some fun. Also, please do click the video on the screen right now to continue on your What Culture journey. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. If you want updates about all this, it's whatculture.com. If you want to say hello on social media, it's What Culture WWE, Simon Miller 316. My name is Simon Miller without the 316. Thank you for watching another What Culture Wrestling video. And I think if I got to choose, like somebody said, Simon, you're the Wizard of the Sky professional wrestling, I would put Edge in AEW. Because 1, I'm Dr. Robotnik and I love chaos, but 2, the amount of matches he'd be able to have over there would drive me absolutely crazy. Also, I would like to see Adam Copeland in a more free environment, especially after all these years of doing a WWE style. I think he may reveal a side to himself we'd never seen before. What does that mean? I don't know.